So these are some of those lettuces I potted up a while back. They got to be huge, but I was waiting for the weather to seem more accommodating. So I cut off all these leaves. I'm going to make salad with those tonight. But it's so that we don't have the roots so much under strain. And I'll go get these potted up. So I'm going to start working on planting these. I'm choosing this bed because I still have this set up for the frost cloth in case I have a need for it. But you can see some of these here looking kind of limp. I planted them the other day and they're so sad. But they had a little bit of root shock from the change and also being out here in the heat, even though I have been hardening them off for about a week. So I'm waiting. I need to thin them. You'll see there's more than like one here, but I'm going to wait to see which one's the stronger plant after they get over their root shock. And I'm going to get these in the ground. Look at those roots. Those are beautiful. This is another one where I'm going to have to thin it a little bit. But it's a little dry down there. It's got some good drainage here. So these beds were filled with originally a mix of compost and sand that I got from our local composting facility, and hence the really good drainage, despite being in North Texas where we have horrible black clay. Yeah, these might have taken a little too long to get them out. Just kind of playing with the roots a little bit so they don't keep wrapping around. Oh. Aren't those pretty? If I was smart, I would have put my gloves on, but I didn't. So you can see I reuse pots. This originally was a watermelon, and I don't think I'm the one that bought it because I grew my watermelon last year from seed. I'll get some from local no-buy groups. There we go. Okay. Since we're very happy growing inside under the grow lights, I'm going to be happy to have cleared up some space on my shelf. Go. Also, what's going in here, I've got some smaller lettuces, the ones that did not thrive as much after I had potted them up. This one's got a lot of excess roots going here. Get it out. There we go. Ooh, yeah. Those I'll put in the green stock. I have some others in the green stock that I put in there earlier this week. And it's like 5 o'clock in the evening right now. Saturday the 7th. I spent the first part of the day working touring a garden that is an urban garden that I'm hoping to volunteer at. And so while we're here, water these in. Get dirt off the leaves that I got all over them. And I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'll let that drain a little bit. But I've got some Parisian carrots. These are, here we go, seeds that I had left over from last year. And then I have some watermelon radishes that I bought not too long ago, I don't think, but let's see about getting those in the ground. There. And I hope to do a few of these every week of the carrots. I have another envelope of them that are new seeds. There. And then my paints are now filthy as well as my hands. I need to figure out some way to manage that a little better. Oh, here. That probably would have been a better way to. And then I'm going to just do a little not so even row of these watermelon radishes. I had some from another seed company that had not germinated. I'm really hopeful about these. Alright. Excess dirt off here. There. Just a little bit of water for that. And honestly, I think that's all I want to do today. Tomorrow is Sunday. It's going to be kind of busy, but maybe I can fit in some more gardening time then. Okay, I changed my mind. I feel like I still need to get some more work done. So I'm going to put these kind of stunted lettuces in my green stalk here. This is an original, and I've topped it off with some Miracle Grow potting soil I got at Costco. And let's see. Go. There. Push that in. I'll get another one. And I'm just gonna go until I get this. Will give me my 1020, most of it free, so that I can pot up some peppers that are in need. So last task of the day, it's starting to get dark around here. I put up my peppers that had done okay, my bells and jalapenos I needed to reseed because they had, well, rotted, or dried out. They dried out and kind of shriveled up. They didn't get as much care as the others. So I've got paprika, pimento, mini sweet pepper, cubanelle, and one cayenne. I only planted like 2 to 3 per variety, depending on how many I wanted. I did one more than what I necessarily wanted. So this paprika, I don't know if it's going to make it, but that's fine, because I had 3 of them that I potted up. I only wanted 2. Also, I've got ground cherries and garden huckleberries. This is the first time I've ever grown those. I have no clue what I'm doing, but we're gonna see. Keep watching from the summer and let's see if I actually successfully grow any of these and if I even like them. So those are my 2 experiments for the year. But yeah, this is it. Getting all the lettuces out of this flat allowed me to fill these others. I have watered from the bottom using rainwater. I need to water some more that are in the house. But I've got 6 of these flats here. These 1020s. 5 of them I purchased. 1 of them is a reuse. And this is probably the last season for it because I heard it sounding like it cracked today. But these ones that I'd purchased are actually pretty sturdy. And I hope to have them for several more years to come. So here we are. I've got catnip I put up here. Sorry how filthy my hands are. I forgot to wear my gloves. I've got 2 of them. I've also got a lot of kale that's probably is completely dead and I need to remove it. But catnip and then lettuces. I've got a couple of empty pockets in the bottom and a couple of things with some kale that's either struggling or dead. I need to figure out what to do with those. I might direct seed some lettuce in those. But you'll note I pretty much, for the most part, just have 1 lettuce plant per pocket. Even though Greenstock says that you can do more. My hope is that as the weather warms up, I'll put some bush beans in here. And have them starting just as I'm finishing up the lettuce. And then this one is mostly Wando peas. I haven't really bothered with the top 2, but I do have a few parsley that are limping along. We'll see how those do. I didn't have much luck with radishes or Parisian carrots in these things, so we will see what else I can do before summer. But yeah, that's it. That's my garden work for Saturday. Maybe tomorrow I have enough energy to do a garden tour. But yeah, we'll see. So there's really not a whole lot to see in the garden here in early February. But I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about what I plan to get done. So, see, I've got some bunching onions there. This side is going to be my melons and winter squashes. I'm not doing the traditional summer squashes. And then this side, which I guess I should tell you, I numbered my beds for my garden planting. So this one's 1, and then 2, 3, and the far end is 4. And we start with 5, 6, 7, and 8. The ones along the fence line I don't worry about as much because for the most part they're perennials. And what I'm growing here are for the most part annuals. That's what this side's going to be. In these first 2 beds I'll have melons and winter squashes, probably interspersed with some beans. Over here is going to be some tomato. I think I'll probably figure out something else to plant in front of the tomatoes along here. And then over on that side is going to be the basil. Actually, I might put the beans here because I had them there last year and it was, I think they would probably do a little bit better here. Trying to get through there got to be such a pain last year with the, anyway. So this is going to be my tomatoes, and then this is going to be peppers. I will have potatoes over here. I've got 1 parsley plant that's still hanging on. Got pretty damaged in the freeze, but got that taken care of. But I've got my seed potatoes chitting right now, and so in a week or 2 I'll get them into this bed. And then they'll come up in time for me to put sweet potatoes in here, I think. Actually, no, the sweet potatoes will go down there where the garlic and onions are. So I've got, this side is a soft neck garlic, and then over here I've got elephant garlic and onions. And I've got a purple and a yellow onion in there, and I've got a few shallots. But yeah, this will be my potatoes. And then over there will be sweet potatoes once those come up. And then I'll have my peppers here. Currently I've got kale and some lettuce. I seeded one very short line of radishes and one of carrot. I also have a single leek there. I'll probably be pulling it up soon. Okay, so you see I've got this white fabric. This is actually my frost cloth. I'm hesitant to completely put it up because, well, we might have another cold spell. And I've got all these bricks out here because that's what was holding them down. If things don't get cooler in about another week, I will pull up all this and put it away for the season. But so yeah, so this will be peppers and eggplant. And then over here, when I pull up the garlic, I will put determinate tomatoes out. And then on this side where I don't really have anything, I'm going to go ahead and put the ground cherry and the garden huckleberry. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's a complete experiment. And then I still have the grapes going along the fence. Be another couple of years before I really get anything off those. And over here are the blackberries. And so it's just a matter of, probably thinking of something to plant at the base of those. I might move my bunching onions over here in front of the blackberries because they shouldn't be difficult to be in the same space, because onions can be allelopathic, I think that's the word I'm looking for some things. So it makes have some restrictions in planting my annual beds when it's over there. But they're ever so convenient being right there by the back door. But yeah, that's it. That is all there is to see. You'll note I have some kale that survived the freeze. And I pulled up everything else except for that one lonely leek. And then I've been putting in lettuces here. I'm also thinking when I put in my potatoes, I might direct seed a little bit of lettuce, pretty sparsely, because that should be up before the potatoes start to grow too quickly. But yeah, I think I've got everything kind of planned. When the shallots are done, I might move those somewhere else instead of having them grow with my other garlics and onions. They might also be put over there by the blackberries for next year. And you can hear Bear. He is so excited about something. He heard a door. But Bear! Come here, boy. Bear! Yep, he is too busy running around.